Hello and welcome. Today's lesson is going to be about simplifying algebraic expressions. The objective today is going to be to simplify algebraic expressions using the distributive property and the process of combining like terms. In other words, we're going to start with an expression such as this, and we'll make it look simpler like this one. This is why we say to simplify an expression, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to simplify algebraic expressions. For this lesson, it will be important for you to remember two important steps. The first step is to eliminate parentheses, and the second step is to combine like terms. And we're going to demonstrate that during today's lesson. So let's begin. As part of my presentation here today, I'm going to show you how your assignment is going to look like so you understand how to use Go Formative as well as the calculator that we're going to embed into the assignment. So basically, your assignment is going to be similar to this, where you're going to have a calculator link like that. So you want to click on that. When you click on that, the decimal calculator will open up. Okay, once it's opened, you will want to move your cursor up here to the tab. When your cursor is there, you right click and hold the right button, and then you drag that tab down. When you do that, this is what happened. You pull out that tab and you open a brand new page with the decimal calculator. So now what you're going to do is you're going to minimize the page by clicking over there. Once you minimize, you want to move to the corner and you want to make it smaller like that. Then you want to click on the Go Formative window and you want to minimize that one too. You want to move to the left side of the screen, and then you want to extend it all the way to the right, just leaving a little space over here on the corner. So here is the Go Formative page and here is the calculator underneath it. Now what you're going to do is you're going to click on Show Your Work of your first problem. Once you do that, then you're going to have the problem over here and you're going to have the calculator over here. So you want to click on the calculator now, and when you do that, the calculator is on top of your formative, and then you can rearrange the size so that you can see the problem on this side, you can see the calculator on that side. And when you work over here, the calculator will stay visible for you. Okay, so this would be a great setup for your Chromebook, so that way you will be able to solve the problem on one side and use the calculator on the other side at the same time. Okay, and on the examples today, I'm going to demonstrate that, so you will notice that I will have Go Formative on the left side and the calculator on the right side. Okay, so let's get started with the examples today. Okay, we're going to start by solving this problem right here. We have an expression. I'm going to use the first step that we talked about, which is eliminate parentheses. So we're going to take the number that is outside and we're going to distribute to the numbers that are inside. Basically, we're going to multiply. That's what this distributive property is all about. You take the number that's outside the parentheses and you distribute with the numbers that are inside the parentheses. We're going to use the calculator now. So we're going to multiply -7 times 5. Press enter and gives us -35. So we come over here and we write -35. And then we're going to do -7 times -8. So we're going to come over here, -7 times -8. And it gives us 56. Notice that it doesn't show me the sign because the sign is positive. So when I come over here and I write on this expression, I'm going to write positive 56. And I don't forget to put the x. Okay, and then I'm going to bring down the 12x. So now I have -35 plus 56x plus 12. So I eliminated the parentheses. So if you notice, I don't have no more parentheses. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the second step, which is combine like terms. What does that mean, combine like terms? I'm going to look for terms that look the same. So for example, you notice 56 and 12x, they look the same because they both have x. The negative 35 does not have x. So what do we do with the 35? I bring it down. So negative 35. And 56 plus 12 is 68. And there we go. Okay, we combine a 56 plus 12. And there's nothing I can do with 35, so I brought it down. And basically, that's all I can do because I cannot mix 35 with 68 because they are not like terms. So basically, I took the two steps that I talked about. First step was to eliminate parentheses, and the second step was to combine like terms. And I got a simplified expression down here. This would be my final answer. And once I'm done, I'm going to click submit. And then I'm ready for the next problem. So I'm going to do my next example here. I also want to point it out that if you click right here, you can change the color of your line if you want. So I changed my color to orange and also made it a little bit thicker. So know that you can do that. And in this case here, I have 17 minus parentheses 21 minus 13x. Please note that if you have a negative sign in front of a parenthesis and no number in between them, know that there's an invisible 1 right there that we can write. So notice that we're not going to multiply 17 times 21. We're going to multiply negative 1 times 21 and then negative 1 times 13. The 17, we're going to bring it down. So the first step is to eliminate parentheses. So we're going to multiply negative 1 times 21. So we pull out the calculator and negative 1 times 21, it gives us negative 21. So we write there negative 21. And then we're going to do negative 1 times negative 13. So negative 1 times negative 13 gives us positive 13. So make sure to write the positive sign. And don't forget the letter X. Okay, so here we have letter X right there. Now that we have eliminated parentheses, we're ready for the second step, which is combine like terms. So we're going to combine the terms that are like each other. So this is, we have 17, and 17 is like 21 because both do not have x. So we do 17 minus 21, 17 minus 21, and we get negative 4. So we write negative 4, and then we'll bring it down to 13 because there's nothing we can combine with 13x. Make sure to put inside a box, and that's our final answer. Okay. So let's go ahead and do the next example. And on this next example, I am going not to write the answer, but I'm going to actually type the answer just to demonstrate that if you don't like to write on the computer, you can also type your answers. So on this problem, we're going to multiply 13 times what's inside the parentheses. So I'm going to multiply these two, and I'm also going to multiply these two. Please notice that there's no number in front of the x, but when that happens, know that there's an invisible 1 right there. So we're multiplying 13 times x, or 13 times 1. And like I said, I'm going to type here this time. So I'm going to open the text, and I'm going to write 13. And remember that 13 times x is, 13 times 1x is 13x. So don't forget the x to there. And then I'm going to do 13 times negative 7. So 13 times negative 7. And we get negative 91. So we come back over here, and we're going to write negative 91. And then we're going to do negative 9 times 7. So then we do negative 9 times 7. And we get negative 63. So we come back over here, negative 63. And then we do negative 9 times 4. So enter. So we get negative 36x. Now it's time to combine like terms. So I can change back to my pencil there, my scribble. And then I want to highlight 13x and 36x because they are alike. So I'm going to punch it in 13 minus 36. Enter. gives me negative 23. So I come over here and click my text and I write negative 23. Don't forget the X. And then I'm going to click my scribble again and I'm going to combine negative 91 with negative 63. In this case, I'm going to punch it in. Negative 91 minus 63. This would be negative 154. So I come back over here, make sure to click the text, and our answer is negative 154. And then don't forget to circle your final answer. So there we go. Now that you completed, let's go ahead and check. I'm going to go to the next problem. Here, I want to make sure to distribute because I'm going to eliminate parentheses. Now, please remember there's an invisible 1 right here. And also, please be careful. You're not going to multiply 1 times 5 because the 5 is not inside the parentheses. Okay? So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply. So 8 times 4. 8 times 4 is 32. So I'm going to write my text there. 32m. And then I'm going to multiply 8 times negative 9. So 8 times negative 9 gives me negative 72. So negative 72. And then I'm going to do negative 1 times 24. So negative 1 times 24 gives me negative 24. So this would be negative 24. And then I'm going to do negative 1 times 34. Okay, I made a mistake there. So I'm going to press the erase here or the backspace. And then we're going to write 34. Press enter. We got negative 34. So double click here. So it'll be negative 34m. And then the negative 5, I'm going to bring it down. So negative 5m. Okay, so now I'm ready for the next step. So what I can do is go ahead and press enter. And that will give me the next line for me to write. And if I want to give more space, I can press enter. So that would be enough space to write the next numbers. So I'm going to press scribble. I'm going to underline the terms that are alike. They're like each other. So like 32 is like 34 and it's like 5. Okay. And then 72, I'm going to underline a different way. Is like 24 because both of them don't have a letter. So let's go ahead and do 32 minus 34 minus 5. We can do that all that on the calculator. So 32 minus 34 minus 5. Press enter. Equals negative 7. So I can double click over here. Make sure you press text. Okay, that opens the text editor. And then we're going to write negative 7m. And then we're going to do the 72 minus 24. So negative 72 minus 24 equals negative 96. So then we double click right here. So negative 96. And then do you want to make sure to circle your answer or put it in a box? And there we go. That's our answer for this problem. So this concludes our examples today. Please remember that today's lesson was about simplifying algebraic expressions, and the objective was to simplify algebraic expressions using distributive property and the process of combining like terms. So basically, we made an expression like this much simpler by simplifying using distributive property and combining like terms. Please remember the 2 steps that we demonstrated in the examples, which is eliminate parentheses first and then combining like terms. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.